Hi, this is music journalist Justin Kantor. I recently had the opportunity to interview the one and only Yvonne Elliman for Soul Music Records and Caroline International's new expanded 2 CD reissue of Yvonne's classic 1978 and 79 albums, Night Flight and Yvonne. In the accompanying 20-page full-color booklet, you can read at length the interview that I did with Yvonne about her history and the making of these wonderful albums that include classics such as If I Can't Have You, Love Pains, Savannah, along with bonus tracks such as Moment by Moment and the sought-after disco mixes of If I Can't Have You and Love Pains, amongst many other gems, 23 tracks in all. But I wanted to share with you, as a preview, some of the audio excerpts from my chat with Yvonne, which led to my writing the historical essay that accompanies this wonderful, much deserved reissue, which you can order from Amazon sites as well as specialty sites such as Dusty Groove and importcds.com. I hope you enjoy listening, and I hope that you will also be encouraged to purchase the 2 CD reissue, and that would just be wonderful for Yvonne's fans because hopefully it will lead to more much deserved reissues of this underrated, talented lady's wonderful music catalog. Enjoy. Because I was thinking, I know that the Yvonne album had been issued on CD in Japan some years ago, but I was actually
Oh,
surprised.
really?
Well, yeah, and okay, I guess you didn't know that, but because I had a copy of that, but I was surprised when I saw the Night Flight had not actually ever been issued on CD. So I
Yeah.
thought it was kind of neat that the label is doing this kind of 2 CD set of those two, since they were from a short time span in your career, so they were kind of related musically in some way or another. And obviously, a lot of people know you for this music, so it was kind of
I
neat.
don't know about that. I don't know about that. I think they did it all wrong, RSO. It's just the logistics. It's just how I recorded If I Can't Have You after Love Me had already been recorded, and so that album was almost ready to be released. And then I recorded If I Can't Have You, and if that was on that album, I think that album would have gone gold. I mean, I really do, because it had the
Yeah,
two hits already. And it was more in the genre because it was the same producer. So when they stuck it on Night Flight, I think it was just, I don't know. I think it was kind of sloppy,
Oh,
on
I
their
didn't
part.
realize that because I remembered that, like, I knew Love Me and Hello Stranger were on the Love Me album, but I didn't realize that If I Can't Have You had been on that one too.
No,
Okay.
it wasn't on Love Me. It
Oh,
wasn't. It should have been.
oh,
But
I gotcha. Okay. I thought you were
yeah,
saying they had. Well, so I guess before we get to that, just to kind of set the tone a little bit so I can kind of, for readers and people buying the CD that
yeah,
don't know about all of your background, I just wanted to talk a little bit about growing up in Hawaii as far as your musical surroundings. Could you describe what they were
yeah,
like and what you were exposed to as a youngster
yeah,
growing up there?
yeah. Well, I think Hawaii is a very musical place,
Mm-hmm.
and I think every kid, when they're growing up from small kid time, I think that they were introduced to the ukulele. Because there's always
Yeah.
an ukulele around the house, and so I think my parents noticed that I had a voice or an ear for music when I started to sing with the commercials that came on TV.
Uh
I
huh.
would sing along, I would harmonize with them, and so I think that's when they perked up and they thought, well, what's this? And so then I started playing the ukulele, and then my dad got me piano lessons at the age of 7. I started, so
Mm-hmm.
that was fine. I mean, I went, pretty much to the top of my class, and then I asked my piano teacher. I said, "Do you think I can?" Because my dad would buy season tickets for the symphony and the opera, and we would go every summer, just
Mm-hmm.
he and I, and it was so fabulous, and I loved it. And so what was I going to say? Oh yeah, and so I said to my teacher, "Do you think I could be a concert pianist?" And she said, "Well, I think maybe you'll be a good teacher."
Hmm.
And when she said that, that just blew my balloon. I just said,
Uh,
I didn't want to play anymore. I just
mm,
didn't have the incentive to play. And, I think I really wanted to express myself on stage.
mm-hmm.
Um, I formed a folk singing band called We Folk. That's WE
Okay.
folk. Yeah, and we did folk music, and we branched out into pop stuff, and we won one of the major competitions out here at the Shell. And in doing so, one of the teachers who just came from England, and in fact brought soccer with him, and introduced it to Hawaii. It was Peter Wilcox.
Okay.
And he really took a liking, a shining to my voice, and he had me go into the studio and just record a few songs of my own, on my own, and took it with him to England for Easter vacation. We used to call it Easter vacation back then.
Right, not spring break.
Yeah. And so when he played it to one of the agents out there, they said, "Oh, bring her here. We'll make her a star. Bring her here when she graduates." So that's why I was in England when I finally got discovered.
So they called you over, the producers of the show Jesus Christ Superstar, to come over there, or did someone else?
No, no, I was when I got to England, I was walking around the streets barefoot, and I'm from Hawaii, and so I was kind of scared because an old man came up to me and he said, "Oh, darling, you better put on some shoes, you get syphilis," stuff like that. And so I thought, "Oh man," but it was hard to wear shoes because my feet weren't used to it. So and England was pea soup, that was gone, but still there was the fog and there was a thick Cockney accents, and I was in Oliver Twist at the high school production, at school.
Oh, that's funny. So, I was in one too.
Oh, really? What did you play?
I played this character called Noah Claypole. He was one of the kids in the orphanage. He only had a few lines.
Yeah. But, cool. I was Widow Corny.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Wow. That's
I wanted to be Nancy, but I wasn't blonde. I don't know.
Oh yeah. Typecasting.
Anyway, yeah. So I loved England, and it was the land of the Beatles, so this is where I wanted to be, and I was going to be the best kick-ass electric guitar player there ever was.
Okay.
For a female, and so I would take my fretboard, which is just made of paper, on the double-decker bus, and I'd noodle around on this fretboard that didn't have any strings, because I read that's what Hendrix did.
Oh wow.
In his desk at school. So nice. I was doing that. It didn't do a damn bit of good. And I really did want to be an incredible guitar player. I was moved by people like Jimmy Page, Eric Clapton, and Jeff Beck, and Pete Townsend. Oh my gosh! So then I was playing. I just played an acoustic guitar, and I got this job from this woman who happened to notice me in this restaurant called Isso's, which is a Jewish restaurant.
Okay.
And she said, "Bring that girl over to me," So I was brought to her, and she said, "Darling, you're fabulous looking, but you walk like a duck," So she took me under her wing and kind of taught me how to walk properly and dressed me in her fine clothes. And I was like a fish out of water,
Yeah.
But I learned, and I was into it. So she got me this gig at the Pheasantry, it was an actors club,
Gotcha.
And they had me on in between the main act. I would go in and fill in like a 10-minute spot, and so I was there one night and ready to do my thing, and John Hendricks of Hendricks, Lambert, and Ross was the headliner, and he didn't show up. They just didn't know where he was. And so the boss came up to me. He said, "Just go on and do everything you know." So I went out there, and I sang everything. And I just kept going and going. And when I was done, I was sweaty, and I was happy because I got to really, do my thing. And Andrew Lloyd Webber came running up to me, and he said, "Darling, you're my Mary Magdalene."
Wow.
And that was it. That's how I knew... that's how I got to meet Andrew. So then he brought Tim Rice back another night, and they saw me, and they had me go into... Andrew had me over to his flat, and he played me the song, which I thought Mary was Mary, the mother, because that's the only Mary I knew, because I had a very limited religious upbringing. So the nativity scene was it, And so when he said, Mary Magdalene, I thought, okay. And so when I heard the song, I thought, my goodness, so I told him, I said, the mother's not going to sing that to her son, He said, "Darling, no. She was a whore. Don't you know who Mary Magdalene was? She was a whore." I said, "Oh." And then I looked at it differently, and then it made more sense.
Right.
So I thought the song was very pretty. And, and so he had me into the studio very soon after that. And I did it in one take, bing, bang, boom, and out of there.